Family's in a rut. We gotta shake things up. We're driving to Wally World.
What? This is some bullshit right here.
My trip to Wally World when I was a kid was the best time I ever had.
So you want to redo your vacation from 30 years ago?
This will be completely different.
I've never even heard of the original Vacation.
Doesn't matter. The new vacation will stand on its own. Okay?
You're the Griswolds, right?
Yes. I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
What's a rim job?
I would guess a rim job is when you kiss someone with your mouth closed.
That's it?
So you're only using the rim of your mouth. Hope you're not too old to let your dad give you a goodnight rim job. This trip's exactly what we needed.
There was a hole in the side of my stall.
Sounds like you found yourself a glory hole.
Russ?
No. All right, let's hit the road.
They see me rolling, they hate it.
I don't know why you want to go back to Wally World.
Trying to catch me riding dirty, trying to catch me riding dirty.
Hot Springs up ahead.
This is beautiful.
I say we call it Griswold Springs.
The minerals that are in this mud draw toxins out of your body.
Trying to catch me riding dirty.
I don't think this is a hot spring.
Found a dart.
Are you crazy?
Everybody on a Griswold
Trying to catch me riding dirty, trying to catch me riding dirty.
How about some tunes?
Welcome to another horrible movie that we've seen. This is miserable movie Mafia coming at you.
Yeah, this one.
What the fuck did we? What? I still don't know what we saw.
2-hour running dick joke.
Yeah.
This one struck close to home with me. This one really made me angry because what we saw was the Vacation sequel.
Yeah.
And the original Vacation is one of my favorite comedies, probably in the top 5 comedies.
Right.
I would make the argument it's in my top 10 movies of all time. This one ruined
Yeah, it was
Vacation for me.
Yeah. You want a short? It's terrible. Don't go see it.
Yeah, it's fucking Ed Helms. I think I keep telling you this. He's box office cancer. He's not funny.
No.
As soon as they added him to The Office stopped being funny. He's just not funny. He's a terrible person, terrible human being. The fact that he made this movie, the people who decided that let's get Ed Helms, he'll be a perfect replacement for Chevy Chase as Clark Griswold, should be locked up in prison. This was absolutely fucking ludicrous, stupid. It angers me just thinking about it to the point where I could punch Ed Helms repeatedly in his stomach till bones are in his stool. I think I've used that joke before, but I'll use it again.
No, it's a solid joke.
It fucking pisses me off.
I had some hope for this because when I saw like the trailers, and of course, trailers always make things look better than what they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
In the trailers, like you see some of the jokes and like they play it off as it's okay. It's like they don't show you the true like shit that you're about to get into.
Mm-hmm.
Both you and the characters.
Yeah.
But so this thing starts and I'd say the first minute wasn't too bad. Like the whole thing where he's on the plane and you learn he's a pilot and the old guy, like that whole joke.
Yeah, the opening sequence.
That was okay. That went. But as soon as he gets off that fucking plane, and then the movie actually starts its plot line, it takes a sharp nosedive.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's bad. Hale, what did you think?
Honestly, if you think about it, these were moments that you could just download on YouTube and be satisfied with. There were moments that were really funny, but then the other 9/10 of the movie was filler.
You could go on YouTube and like watch a Vine collection and have more laughs out of that than this 2-hour train wreck.
I just like we talked about after the movie. I mean, I guess Vacation could have been done, and this could have been an alright reboot, remake, whatever, if they had just used not this crass humor. I don't know where. I guess it all started with The Hangover. I guess maybe like everything.
I'll blame it on that. Yeah.
Everything's a dick joke and F words and everything and that, and like that's what's supposed to be funny nowadays. Like Fred was talking about, like the subtle parts. Like Chevy Chase was in the movie for a whole 5 minutes maybe.
If
Yeah.
that. It was like 3 minutes. Yeah.
And
it was gold.
His brand of humor, I mean, was there, and it was awesome. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
It wasn't elaborate. It wasn't over the top. He didn't curse. He didn't do any of that stuff, and it was awesome. And that's what I kind of wish this movie would have been, but it wasn't, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And like, I'm not saying like the parts with Chevy Chase in it was gold because I'm biased and I love Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
It's like he shows up, and in the 5 minutes you actually see him, he shows you how comedy's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
Like he looks so natural doing that you would think that that's actually Rusty's real dad.
Yeah.
Like he knows that part inside and out, and it was so natural.
And that's all the original Vacation was. I don't mind like saying fuck and things like that. What pisses me off, and this is sitting in the movie theater. This is a perfect example. I'm sure, like teenage girls and like 20-somethings will love this movie.
Well, we know that for a
Yeah,
fact. Yeah.
because sitting in the movie theater, there were two groups of people. There were people that saw the original, older people that saw the original Vacation and liked it. And then you had the fucking new generation of absolute retards sitting there in the crowd.
Yeah, it was like going to an Aerosmith concert.
Yeah. So, you noticed that people like us were like, kind of like, you heard people in the movie theater going, oh shit, what the hell? Like, doing that like us. And then we had these like fucking tweens or whatever the hell they were older than tweens. I don't know what you call them. I call mine.
They're millennials, I think. If you're a little older than a tween, yeah.
You know, born like their birthday's 95, 96, something like that.
Yeah.
Sitting in the movie theater, they're like, oh, ha, ha, ha. They loved it. Cause this new
One of them
generation
commented that it was the best movie they've seen all summer.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Cause all you need to please them is just shit jokes and dicks. Shit and dicks. And they're like, it's funny as hell. Let's have him, so the writers are like, let's have him fall into a big pile of shit and he'll get his dick out. Yeah, let's do that. That's what the movie is. He'll shit his pants and just pop his dick out. Yeah, and that happens in the movie here, and they're all these, millennials or whatever the fuck you call these things, are gonna sit there going, this is fantastic, this is the funniest movie of the year.
Yeah.
That's all comedy is anymore.
Yeah, this is going to be good fodder for South Park, I bet you.
Oh, yeah.
I could see him tearing this apart badly.
And then there were two other parts besides Chevy Chase that I thought were good, and that was Charlie Day's part that he did in it.
Yeah, that was good.
It pissed me off at first because when he comes out and starts his bits, you're like, no, this isn't Charlie Day, and these jokes are just terrible. And the whole time Matt's like nudging me, he's like, he's gonna do a complete 180. Watch.
Yeah.
He's gonna, and then I don't want to ruin it if you want to see it. But no, fuck it. We always ruin shit on this show.
Yeah, just ruin it.
Yeah. He gets this call. He's like talking about his fiance. He gets this call and his fiance dumps him. So he turns around and he's like, because he's taking him on the whitewater rapids. And he's like, well, I'm apparently not engaged anymore. So let's go out in the river.
Yeah.
Hilarity ensues.
And they're like, he's a fun guy. Nothing's going to happen. Yeah. And they kiss. Like the head Helms and his wife kiss.
Yeah, the family looks happy.
Yeah, the family's all happy. They kiss, and then they break away, and then you just they kiss, and right behind them's Charlie Day, just
with a deranged look on his face.
And then he just looks up, and there's the calm side of the river, and then the whitewater rapid part, and he just puts his oar in and steers him right over to the rapids. He puts his face in the river, like he's drowning himself. Yeah. All the family's screaming for their lives.
Yeah. That part was funny, and Chevy Chase was funny.
And Norman Reedus' small part.
It's like Daryl from Walking Dead.
Because there was a running joke through the whole movie, after the car that they're in has a CB in it. Because they have this ridiculous car from Switzerland or something. And
they tried to do the whole thing. They tried to
relive
the whole.
They tried to relive the family
roadster.
Roadster, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, what was that? European Vacation? I've never actually seen that.
No, that's the original. Remember, he gets the car they were driving in the movie. Remember, Clark gives it to him.
Oh yes, okay.
It's the one from the original where the black guys in St. Louis spray paint honky lips on it and stuff like that.
So there's a CB in their car, and they're talking trucker talk. And then all of a sudden, the kid wants to talk. And the youngest kid in this movie is all one note. All he does is say, ridiculous F-word everything, and he hates his older brother.
Yeah.
That's his joke throughout the whole movie.
It's kind of like they wrote the character to be an older person, and that's one thing I hate. I don't know if you guys are the same way. When they have a child actor, like, trying to play a part of what I feel like is an older person, like, talking more
like
intelligent.
An angsty teenager.
But no, but I'm just saying, like, talking more intelligent than a child does, using language that a child will not use, you know what I mean? Like,
The only movie that worked in was Talladega Nights with his two sons.
But they weren't over too much over the top. Like, they were just saying ridiculous things, but they weren't, I don't know.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. What were you gonna...
It worked in another movie. A
What?
classic that I stick up for. I think I've stuck up for before.
Was Joe Don Baker in it?
No, Joe Don Baker unfortunately was not in this, but Macaulay Culkin was.
Oh,
And that
The
movie
Good Son!
was called The Good Son. Where when he's holding Elijah Wood over that treehouse, like 500 feet up in the air, and like Elijah Wood's like, I'm going to tell your mom about all the stuff you did, and he's like John or whatever his name is, and like Elijah Wood looks up and goes like, don't fuck with me.
And he's all monotone too, so there was like, John, don't fuck with me.
Yeah, he's just staring at him like, or when he shoots that nail gun at the cat.
Yeah.
And he's like, shoots it above his head. He's like, that was a great shot. And like,
I missed.
Yeah, he's like, the sights are off.
So, going back to the movie, there's a CB in the car, they start talking to the trucker, and then the kid wants to talk, and the kid just like asks him, he's like, oh, you're a trucker, you're a pedophile, da, da, da. So that starts the running joke. So the trucker, like, every now and then pops back up like he's following them, he's gonna try and kill them or whatever. Mm-hmm. So they meet in the end, the trucker finally catches up with him, and he's like, oh, your wife left her ring back in Milwaukee or whatever. Mm-hmm. So they're all standing there, and the kid's like, oh, you're just trying to get the ring back, so you're not a pedophile rapist, huh? And Norman Reedus just looks down at the kid, he's like,
yeah.
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 And they're like, so?
And then he's got the teddy bear on the front of his truck.
Yeah, like, so what's the teddy bear about? He's like, makes the kids feel more comfortable.
And they're like, so you have kids? He's like, no.
No. That was funny.
Yeah.
But again, we talked about comedic timing. Like,
yeah, it was perfect comedic timing.
There was great comedic timing, and then there were parts that not so much. Like, again, a penis joke that was used throughout.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that really killed this movie for me, is that they had way too many reoccurring running jokes that weren't funny the first time. So it's like, yeah, sure, that I didn't laugh the first time, so let's try it a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth time.
Yeah. It's again, comedies now, what these fucking, we gotta think of a name for these young kids. They're fucking mindless. They are mindless. To them, comedy is falling into a huge pile of shit. Get your dick out. That's it.
Yeah.
That is it. There used to be a time when shit, I mean, I laugh my ass off at fart jokes and stuff, but I'm sorry. Just a movie constantly filled with, fall into a pile of shit. Oh, his balls are out. Look at that. Let's all roll around in this shit with your balls out. And they're like, oh, this is great. This is funny. That's not.
And the other thing I noticed, there always has to be like one awkward character that isn't manly enough.
Yeah.
And he has to like overcome his insecurities, and then he's like finally becomes like the guy he wanted to be at the end of the movie. That's another thing in all these comedies that they have now. And that's what like Ed Helms' character was in this entire movie. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. Ed Helms is not like that kind of guy. He's not a Chris Hemsworth or anything. But at the same time, it's like, I don't like Ed Helms to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't know many people that do.
You never root for him. I mean, to me, the perfect move with Ed Helms would be you see him for 5 seconds, he walks out in the middle of the street, and a Mack truck smacks him, and you see his head fly this direction, and his fucking arms and legs fly this direction, and the torso's on the windshield, and the windshield wipers are hitting the torso. That, to me, is the perfect fucking Ed Helms part.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see him. Like I said, he's box office cancer. Nobody wants to see him. Anything he touches turns to unfunny shit.
Yep. Well, I guess we should probably just give this movie a rating, because we're going to get into our new formats that we're doing.
Yeah, because if we talk more about this, I'm just going to get more angry and angry. This movie took elements of the first one that were great and memorable, like the Griswold family, Roadster.
And shit all over.
Yeah. The fucking, and just, you're right. You're absolutely right. Shit all over. It made them terrible.
Well, you know what else I realized? Like, this one didn't have, like, the National Lampoon, like, stamp of approval. And like, I assume that hasn't gone away because like the Van Wilder movies, all right, the first one was National Lampoon. Even the crappy sequels said National Lampoon.
I'm gonna stop you right there, though. Like, National Lampoon lately hasn't really had a seal of quality.
But I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like,
it didn't have the feel.
I just don't understand where the National Lamp, like, did it just become a studio movie where they're just like, you know what, we're making a sequel and that's it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Who's involved or whoever.
I think I
just wonder what Chevy Chase, like, if they sat him down in the theater, what his reaction would be watching the entire movie. I'm sure he would vomit.
Yeah, probably.
Well, National Lampoon hasn't done anything good since the 80s.
No.
You had Animal House, you had Vacation.
Well, you had all the Vacations. Most of them were good.
Yeah, well, yeah, Vegas Vacation was kind of like, so European Vacation had its
I
moments.
said to you in the car, I was like, I'd rather watch Christmas Vacation 2 than watch this fucking thing again.
And that one was bad.
Yeah.
That one, I think, had the
I didn't even know there was a second Christmas Vacation 2.
It's all about Eddie.
Yeah, it was made for...
and they wind up on an island somewhere.
Yeah.
Isn't that actor now, like, drugged out, like, stealing nights at hotel rooms and, like, wrecking them and
Well,
stuff?
the funny thing is, he thinks the United States government is after him, and they could give two shits.
Yeah.
He rented, like, a hotel room, and he thought he got in really big trouble, and he, like, went on the lam.
From what I understand, he's living in a trailer in, like, Vancouver, like, in Canada.
So he's living like his character.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And that's what we said when we left you, we were going back to his car, we were like, we wish they would have gotten him. It's like, find him, and he's just like, oh shit, like, no, just calm down. It's alright. Nobody gives a shit about what you did.
Yeah.
Honestly, nobody wants to find you. But me, I need you. America needs you.
You need to be Eddie one more time.
America needs you to be Eddie one more time.
Here's a beer. Okay.
Yeah. Here's a beer and some dog food.
Let's also mention this. The guys who wrote this movie are the same guys who are going to be tackling Spider-Man, the reboot of Spider-Man.
I said to him, I was like, I hope Spider-Man gets his dick out, and that's where his web shoots from.
Yeah, that's going to be.
He's just flying around town like this with his dick flopping around, just shooting web out.
Yep, and those girls will be there going, this is so hilarious, ha ha ha. These are fucking people that are entertained by Channing Tatum shaking his pud around and fucking Magic Mike. Yeah. I'm so fucking irritated. And like those girls laughing over there, I want to stand up and say, you're a fucking disgrace. Your whole generation, you all stink. Every single one of you. There's not one, you don't have one good characteristic. You're fucking sitting there laughing at this shit. This is this is fucking ruining a classic that you'll never know because your generation is so consumed with fucking Vin Diesel and fucking Channing Tatum.
Well, you know what's so funny?
You really hate Channing Tatum.
In this movie, they even tried to make like a joke about the original movie, and that played out way too long.
Yeah. Well, the original movie, I don't know how you can make a joke about it. It was a great movie. It's far better than this. The original movie was memorable. This was
disposable. Yeah, entertainment is what this was.
Entertainment is not what I would use to describe this movie. Me and Matt were constantly like the whole time going, God, just fucking get to Wally World and roll the fucking credits.
Yeah.
Just get to fucking Wally World.
Wait, no, because when they rolled the credits, that's when there were more dick pics.
Yeah, well, that's when the penis popped out, which is another thing. We've discussed this before. I'm tired of it. All right. You know, I understand this whole, feminism, all equal, equality, fucking, women have rights too and everything.
Yeah, but not being ignorant, like, when's the last time you saw a pair of meat curtains in a movie?
Yeah.
All right, you know what I'm saying.
You used to see boobs all the time. Okay. You never see boobs at all. You don't see boobs at all. You get a set of boobs now in a movie. There was a time period when, they put boobs in almost every movie. You'd have at least one set falling out at one point in time. Now they don't have that anymore. Instead of boobs, you get some guy's dick falling out.
Well, it's not even a real dick. It's a prosthetic.
How'd you like to have that job? Make the prosthetic dicks for fucking...
Well, how would you like to be the actor like Chris Hemsworth and it's like, we're just going to strap this fake dick on you?
Why not? Like, Marky Mark did it with Boogie Nights.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, but that was for a purpose.
Yeah, that was
nobody's going to be Dirk Diggler ever again,
That played into this, like, the storyline of the movie.
The plot.
These movies now are just like,
Yeah, I guess that was. It was just a porn movie about the porn industry.
It was a movie about the porn industry.
I just imagine them coming with a script and like they sit Vacation down or any other movie, they sit it down and they go, here's your script for, such and such movie. And they're like, I read through it. How do we get a penis falling out in there? We need to get a penis falling out in there. That's fucking ridiculous.
Well, that's not to say there wasn't dick jokes in the past, but it wasn't like
they're just throwing it in there to throw it in there. Now,
yeah,
is what I'm saying.
It actually had a purpose.
It's one thing to have like a quote unquote a dick joke, I guess, but it's another to flash it on the screen in front of
It's
everybody.
not even a joke.
Well, yeah,
it's
and
like,
you
dicks out, like,
and you flash it on the screen for like 2 seconds, and it has no bearing on anything else that's happened thus far.
So let's go to an example. So the Simpsons movie.
Yeah.
Bart Simpson's penis was out in that.
Yeah, in the beginning.
And I believe I read an interview somewhere they said, well, why'd you do that? They said, because we could. That's it. That was the answer. Because we could. Like, it boggles my mind. And these are people that have been writing Simpsons comedy since the beginning of Simpsons. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, even they're running out of jokes.
In all honesty, I think that movie was their tipping point.
I thought they hit their tipping point way before it. That's just my opinion.
Everybody, yeah. The Simpsons aren't good anymore.
Well,
but.
South Park will throw dicks and stuff in there, but I think when they do it, it's funny. There's a, point behind it. It's just like these comedies now, it's just, all right, yeah, we're going to Hawaii. Oh, I tripped and fell into shit and my dick's out. Oh my God. And like these people are like, oh, it's funny. Oh, my dick's out. I got shit on my balls. Oh my God. Oh, now I'm peeing myself. I'm just pissed all over myself and I'm fucking got fecal matter in my hair and my dick's out.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. I also read an article. I'm a big gossip reader. Maybe that's good or bad, but also read. So like Chris Hemsworth is in this, right? And he has this small role, whatever it was. I heard that when he was initially offered the role of the quote unquote secretary for Ghostbusters, he turned it down because the role wasn't big enough for him. And then I watched this and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that role wasn't big enough for you, but this piece of crap, like this was the highlight, like, of a cameo? Like, I don't get it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, we gotta end this here, because if you want to do news, we're already 20 minutes in.
Yeah, we gotta do news.
So, let's go around scores. Fred?
Oh, it would have been getting a 0 out of 10 if it wasn't for Chevy Chase and those small elements. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10.
Okay.
Wow, that's scary. I was gonna say 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's, unanimous. 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10 across the board.
And you know what? And since I'm giving this a 2 out of 10, I'm retracting a score I gave a movie earlier this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Genesis at least a 3.5. Because now seeing this, I realize you can make a worse movie.
And, ladies and gentlemen, there's more of this bullshit coming down the road, because what they're going to do, this is a sign of what they're doing. Take successful stuff from the 80s and 90s, reboot it, remake it, make a shitty sequel, pump it out there.
Yeah.
And people will pay. That's the problem. People keep paying. No, I know.
We did for a purpose.
But I am going to say one thing. Like, this is one of those late night movies where you might catch a clip or two on like FX in the future. That's all it's worth.
Yeah.
It is like a late night, like, watch a couple parts of it and be like, okay, I'm done with it, and change to the next channel.
Real quick, before we get into the news, I want to bring this up because this needs to be spoken about.
All right.
Before you arrived there, Matt, we bought our tickets, and we're waiting in line.
Oh, yeah, we haven't gotten a people.
This has got to be said.
Fred's movie people.
Yeah,
we can get this in a while.
This has got to be said.
This is a great segment.
It is.
This is why movies like this are being made. There's nobody. Do people have fucking like self-dignity anymore?
No. I can answer that right now.
Going into line, here comes
It's because of Walmart.
Yeah. These fucking Walmart people speaking their Walmartese. This woman weighed a solid 350 pounds.
Yep.
She shows up.
Yoga pants
on.
That are 2 sizes too short.
Yeah. Ass hanging out, and she's wearing a thong. And her
Bright
top
pink.
hat, the top half of her...
It used to be someone we knew. We used to call them pig pants.
Yeah.
Pig pants?
Fucking her the top half of her fucking bright red sweating ass is hanging out of her fucking 300 pound ass is hanging out of her fucking pants. You could tell she knew. There was no way she didn't know. Alright? Fucking thong on, showing for all the world. This woman's 300 pounds.
Right.
You shouldn't have a fucking thong on. You should be wearing a fucking bed sheet
and
stapled together.
This for me was extremely terrible because for those listeners out, because this is going to go up like today. For those listeners out there that don't know, I think I might have gotten food poisoning last night.
Yes.
When we had our meeting meal before we did Grindcast, and I felt horrible. I still don't feel great, but when I saw this woman, my stomach started churning once again. And there was a second time, and I was halfway through this movie, and my stomach started churning again.
Yeah.
It, like, just pull your, like, I'm not even saying this for like that meme where they're just like, pull your pants up. You know, it's just like, seriously, that woman really should have been able to feel the breeze in the air.
She did.
And realize, like, oh, my ass is hanging out.
For the listeners out there, it is a reminder that we watch movies in York County of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and if I keep seeing you like
look
that,
up York County news and headlines, you'll find some very interesting headlines for things that go on around here. So I don't.
And if I keep seeing things like this, I'm actually going to spend my hard-earned money to make physical copies of the Joe Don Baker Award, and I'm going to start handing them out to people. Like, you win the Joe Don Baker Award for making me want to throw up in my mouth.
Joe Don Baker, the guy, Congo, the running joke we've had on the show, the angry guy
the
from
best
Congo.
thing ever.
Yes.
All right, so let's get in the news then.
All right. News topics. I've got 3 here. If anyone wants to add any, feel free.
All right, yeah, go for it.
But the number one headline this week is probably going to be that Channing Tatum has left 20th Century Fox and their X-Men universe franchise.
Did The Rock cry?
He has left he has left their film Gambit, which is going to be an X-Men spin-off movie. Their next
and
one.
I hope now that he left, they're just not going to do it.
Well, they've got $150 million invested in it, and rumors are swirling that it's not official that he's left, but there's talks that he's going to leave. It might have to do with the fact that he's got producer's credit, and it was leaked this week that the budget for the film was $150 million, which is like an insane amount.
Yeah, kind of there's a lot of comic book folks that love Gambit, but he's still, what do I want to say? He's still not a Wolverine. He's still not a Cyclops.
I think he is very almost C-Squad to me.
To me, he is.
Yeah. He throws fucking fucking plasma charged playing cards around, and he's got a bow.
Can you name one villain? Like, you know how Wolverine has like a Sabretooth and a Mega Red.
Yeah.
Can you name one villain that Gambit has that's a sole Gambit villain that's memorable?
Not off the top of my head without having to research it, but no, not really. I think he had a squabble with like a Mega Red for a while, but I think that was.
But
Omega Red's more of a Wolverine villain than anything
he's
else
a Wolverine
as well.
villain.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes in the Marvel Universe, those guys leak over. The problem is Gambit is known for being the boyfriend of Rogue, and that's about it to me.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I always thought to myself, I don't know how this movie was going to come together anyway.
I thought they already had Gambit.
He was in the X-Men Origins.
I blame it on X-Men Origins. They put him in there for a little bit.
That was pretty good. I didn't think he was terrible. You know what I mean?
Taylor.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was terrible. The problem with that movie, script. It all comes down to script. Because the second Wolverine movie was pretty good.
Well, this gets back to what we were talking about last night on Grindcast with X-Men, which I think will be the episode coming out Monday.
Sorry, I'm upset. I'm still working through it.
Yeah, but that the continuality with X-Men, it's not there.
No.
Look at it. I mean, like we talked about Bolivar Trask, where Bolivar Trask in Last Stand is the black guy from Predator, and he's a political diplomat, and in fucking Days of Future Past, he's the midget from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And fucking the original X-Men, Sabretooth was that,
Taylor Mane, wasn't he?
Yeah, that professional wrestler guy. And then in X-Men Origins, he's played by, what's his name? And there's no connection between the two characters.
No, yeah.
So they need to get that settled down and get that corrected.
The continuity is kind of all over the place. Well, I think that's why they chose a time travel piece, so then they could kind of take the easy escape out and say, oh, well, because there was time travel involved, we've disrupted the timeline. Now there's a new timeline.
They pulled Star Trek.
Yeah, but we talked about it before. When you introduce time travel into anything, the parallels are uncanny. They can pull characters out, put them back in, and say, well, this is a completely different universe. This is a spliced timeline.
The other thing with that is you are always going to have giant plot holes and loopholes that you miss, because writing a time travel movie is never concrete.
And let me put this out there. So when announced that Channing Tatum was interested in doing Gambit.
He was producing it.
But I'm just saying, like, do either of you I don't picture Channing Tatum playing Gambit. Like in the comic books, he's a slender. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a slender build. You know what I mean? He's not a.
He's Cajun as well.
Channing Tatum,
and he had long hair, and I just didn't see Channing Tatum. It just doesn't. It's not the embodiment of a Gambit anyway. So hey, you know what? Maybe this is the best.
Channing Tatum,
but like Fred said, they got this money. They're not going to stop now. No. It's a money making.
Well, Channing Tatum fucking talk. A lot of these actors, they talk like idiots. Vin Diesel, Channing Tatum, they talk like fucking idiots. They make Sylvester Stallone look like a fucking genius. All right, these people. I mean, they just fucking. They talk like fucking idiots. I'm looking at fucking Channing Tatum's body of work, and when he talks, it's just like, ugh, shut up. Shut the fuck up. There's only a select few that talk worse than him, Vin Diesel being one of them. Yeah. How's he gonna do a Cajun accent? It's not.
The only thing I liked Channing Tatum in was the 21 Jump Street remake. I like that one.
I don't know. I liked his cameo in, what was that? You probably didn't like the movie because it was Seth Rogen in it, but the ones about the world was ending.
Oh, yeah, this is the end.
This is the end. I liked him in that because he was like in that gimp suit and he was like one guy's like fucking sex slave or whatever.
Yeah, he was Danny's.
Danny's sex slave.
He was in a movie called Foxcatcher, where he had he was a part of like a wrestling team and had like a homoerotic relationship with fucking Steve Carell.
Yeah.
It was really weird. Like, he was...
Well, what was weird was like, Channing Tatum looks like a grown-ass man and he's playing a fresh into college kid, am I correct?
Well, no, he's out of college.
Oh, see, I
they're
thought
doing collegiate, Olympic wrestling. And he's like on the mat. Like, fucking Steve Carell plays this squirrely old guy and like, Channing Tatum's just laying on the mat, like, not moving. And Steve Carell's like behind him, like, not actually ass fucking him, but like they're trying to like do wrestling, but it looks so like wrestling.
Right.
He looks like he's like he's like the lights are off in there and he's like like breathing on the nape of his neck and like it's so I don't know.
Matt, is your stomach churning yet?
Yes.
It's been, so I've been kind of quiet.
Yes.
So moving on.
So moving on to the second story, you were talking about 21 Jump Street. This kind of...
Is this dovetailing into that?
Yeah, there's dovetails into that. They are...
That's scary, isn't it?
They are rebooting Shaft again, and they are going to be doing it in the vein of 21 Jump Street to the point where...
So we're talking comedy?
Yeah, we're talking... to the point where Ice Cube's character from 21 Jump Street might be making... That they have not announced yet.
How can you reboot something that's already been done less than 10 years ago by now, I would say?
Well, they do it with Spider-Man every 2.5 years.
Well, that's just because fucking...
In fact, I remember going to go see that Sam Jackson movie.
Yeah.
See, and
that's back when like I was younger, so like no better what a good movie, a bad movie was. I'm like, oh, it's pretty bad. Sam Jackson beat some people up.
I have no interest. Yeah, I have no interest.
I just want to put this out there right now, and it's just, and it's not just because Spider-Man's my favorite comic book character. I kind of hate that people keep using that. Like, oh, you know, why are you worried about this reboot? They rebooted Spider-Man how many millions of times? It's like, okay, yeah, I understand. This is like going to be his third movie where they restart and tell his origin again, and da-da-da-da-da. It's like, okay, but how many times do they do that with fucking Batman?
Well, I think that's why they're not doing it this time.
Well, I guess they're going to be doing it 3 times. So Spider-Man and Batman are tied.
Yeah. But even so...
I don't mind them rebooting Spider-Man. I'm just saying that...
Even so, the reason that Spider-Man, this is all happening is because when Marvel wanted to do all this shit, they fucked up from the get-go and sold most of their licenses out to these other fucking companies and then decided to make their own studio.
Yeah.
So, Marvel just, like, they did not plan, like, DC's not planning stuff very well right now, right, as it is, I think.
Yeah,
but see, Marvel,
But Warner Brothers owns all of it. Owns all of it.
That's the thing they have going.
That's what they have going, like you said, because Warner Brothers owns the comic book company and owned the rights to the movies and all that stuff, so you're right.
Whereas Marvel sold their franchises out a la carte to...
anybody and everybody.
Which is funny because I think they did that so they wanted to get the money together to probably make their own studio. But then doing so, they shot themselves in the foot. That's the only thing I could think is the reason why they did that in the first place.
I
But-
don't
now
think
they're
they
getting
had-
their.
Well, I just.
But now they got that Disney money.
It was
so-
that. It was that
They're getting their
small. It was that
properties
small
back.
mindset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
In
didn't
fact, the
think.
only properties they can't get back are Fantastic Four and X-Men because they're making 20th Century Fox money and they're refusing to sell them back. But they've gotten back Punisher, they've gotten back Daredevil, which they sold off.
Now, I'd like to get an actual good rated R Punisher movie.
Well, it's coming to Netflix. They're doing a series.
Good.
Depending on, he's going to be, Punisher is going to be in Daredevil season 2.
Okay.
Depending on how that does, they will be doing a Punisher
And you know what?
spinoff.
If they do a Punisher spinoff or he gets his own series, I think they should get the guy back that did Punisher Warzone, the second one.
They've got the guy who played
That kind of sucks.
from The Walking Dead.
Dead.
Yeah, the guy who played from The Walking Dead. Shane from The Walking Dead.
Okay, all right.
He looks like the Punisher.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, I'll give it to him. I can see that. But, I don't know.
Any interest in Shaft? No.
No, I don't think so.
whatsoever.
But you know what, though? At least if you think about it, though, you're talking about an obscure TV show from a long time ago. No one really cares. You know what I mean? Well, and it probably will bomb just as hard as the other one did because, again,
I don't know if
it's so obscure.
If they tailor it to the 21 Jump Street way, it might end up making money, even if it isn't really that great.
Yeah.
Just because of how they're going to write it.
I don't know.
I could see it making
But
some dough.
let's stay on that one then. So what do you guys think about them rebooting Men in Black with making the 21 Jump Street world merge into the Men in Black? I don't know if you guys have read that.
I have not read that. That sounds like absolute ass to me. Absolute ass soup.
So I assume the way it would work is Channing Tatum.
My stomach is churning.
And everybody's favorite are going to be like beat cops, like Will Smith's character was in the first Men in Blacks that get recruited into the Men in Black program.
Fuck.
And then that's how it becomes.
I
the Men in
think
Black.
I did read something about this. Isn't that fucking Walrus's idea? What's his fucking name? That fucking
Kevin
Jonah
Smith.
Hill? Jonah Hill? That fucking horse's ass?
I don't know whose idea it is, but I'm just saying, like, I've read somewhere that is the pitch that they're thinking, and everybody's on board to do it.
Yeah, I think that was Jonah Hill's idea. And that is absolute fuck. That is the... What the fuck? I mean, it's just fucking stupid.
What the fuck? You broke Fred.
I think I just broke the news segment.
Yeah.
But... Doing another, all right. So nobody, Shaft, another
Nobody
fine
gives
example.
a shit about Shaft.
And another fine example of them just digging up stuff from the past and rebooting.
That's like
and
making a Hogan's Hero movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
don't give them ideas.
Yeah.
TV show was great, by the way.
If you're losing all hope in humanity based off all these reboots and remakes, goes into our next news story. Don't lose all hope, because there are some original stuff coming out, and this is a new original thing, which I am so excited for.
Okay.
I got absolutely giddy for this. Ladies and gentlemen, Mel Gibson is back. He will be directing an original idea. Mel will direct a World War II movie called Hacksaw Ridge, starring Andrew Garfield, Sam Worthington, and as of yesterday, Vince Vaughn has signed on to appear.
Vince Vaughn's kind of Hollywood cancer too, though.
Well, he's starting to get back to dramatic roles now.
Which is what he was good at, in my opinion.
I like him as comedy too, but yeah, it's so. And that's going to be
hit his peak. Like, the tip of his iceberg comedy-wise for me was Old School, and then it went down after that.
I liked.
Because they paired him up with
I'm sorry, Wedding Crashers. Yeah, that was good.
Because then they tried to piggyback on that, and they said, well, let's put Owen Wilson and him together again.
Basically, they're like, just do whatever
you
you did when you were in Wedding Crashers, and it'll be great. Just act like that guy.
I like
Be that character again.
Unfinished Business. A lot of people hated it. I liked it. But back to this. The most important thing here isn't Vince Vaughn. It is Mel Gibson. And Mel Gibson is returning to directing. And Mel Gibson is back. People are angry about this because Mel Gibson's getting work. First off, here's my... I just want to say this. I was watching something on YouTube with these horses' asses
This might end up being like an hour and 30-minute long episode.
I was watching something on YouTube. This fucking asshole who used to be on AMC Movie Talk, but they fired him from AMC.
While you're doing your rant, I'm going to go get some water.
Okay. But they fired him from AMC Movie Talk, all right? And now he's on Collider movie. They call it Collider Movie Talk. They probably fired him from AMC Movie Talk because they found him hanging around glory holes and fucking men's rooms and truck stops. All right. So they fired him from or he left AMC Movie Talk, whatever. And I was watching the clip today, and they were like, "Well, we don't know if Mel Gibson should be allowed to work anymore based off his comments." In defense of Mel Gibson, let's look at this from Mel Gibson's point of view. All right. He's dating a woman who is using his money to the tune of, she spent $5 million of his money. And yes, I know he's got Passion of the Christ money and he's got like $500 million. But she spent $5 million of his money. She's giving him lip after spending his money. She doesn't have a job or do anything herself. She just lays around spending his money. And then she's gonna fucking, give him shit and leave him and not blow him before the jacuzzi. That's fucking, which is the reason why he was pissed. I can understand why he's angry. And looking back,
well, I mean, you haven't had a successful relationship, so yes, you could understand why he's angry.
And that's probably, look, I'd be calling saying a lot where you should hear some of the phone calls I made. I can completely understand where Mel Gibson was coming from. And they're on there going, it's just horrible, the things he said. It's just horrible.
You know what? Alec Baldwin sat there and said all those ignorant things to his daughter, and that wasn't even an adult daughter, and they don't care about that. Alec Baldwin's hosting the Tony Awards, and, on 30
He's
Rock.
in that brand new awesome Mission Impossible movie.
Fucking
We're not going to have to watch that, are we?
No, I'm not. Although it's getting 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Of course it will.
Fucking Tom Cruise. That fucking, he's so weird. He's so odd. Nobody else sees that he's odd.
He's starting to look more like an elf as the years go by.
He's fucking, watch his interviews. He claims he can run a 2-minute mile. He's a fucking liar. There's Kenyans who can't run a 2-minute mile. Fucking Tom Cruise is, I can run a 2-minute mile because of Scientology. Shut up. What's happening is you're giving the fucking Scientologists tons of money. You're running laps around the fucking, track. And of course they're going to tell you, oh yeah, that mile was just 2 minutes. Meanwhile, the stopwatch says 6 minutes and 9 seconds or something like that.
That's still a good mile.
I'm not saying he can't run a good mile. I'm saying he can't run a 2-minute mile. He can't. Fucking weirdo hanging off the side of the plane. Going, oh, look at me, I'm so cool, I'm Tom Cruise, I'm Agent Ethan Hunt. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. You haven't been in anything good since The Color of Money, you horse's ass.
Alright, so, this is going to be a movie about...
Mel Gibson, yes.
World
Tom
War
Cruise,
II.
no.
World War II in the Pacific Theater.
Now, I will say, I'm not the hugest Mel Gibson fan in the world. Some of the movies he's been in, they're good. I love Lethal Weapon until it got to, 4...
Yeah, the third
was that the one was Jet Li was in it and it just was
fourth.
Completely jumping the shark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
That one
jumped
wasn't
up
that
the
good.
They jumped up at the third one.
Yeah, okay. But those I liked. I loved Braveheart. I loved The Patriot. Apocalypto.
It was a good. It was
a good idea.
It was a well shot movie.
Yeah, I'll give it
beautiful looking film.
He's a good director.
It was much better than the movie that tried to rip it off later with that 100 BC or whatever.
10,000 BC.
10,000 BC.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie that tried to rip it off.
That was a CG fest.
Yeah.
But as a director, the movies he's directed made tons of money.
And they're excellent.
A lot of people love them. So, yeah, let him have some fucking work. And you know what? And this is the thing I hate. It's yes, I know because you're famous, you probably should watch some of the things you say, but if you're in your own private life,
making private calls, you should be able to say whatever the hell you want to whatever. It's maybe he did some stuff that wasn't exactly a good thing to do to say to your significant other and but that was his life. That's not your life. And it's not like everybody else in the world does not have a skeleton or two in their fucking closet.
Well, I look at it like this. You know what I mean? As far as releasing a film, it's America. You could do what you want to do. Hell, they put ISIS videos on CNN. So, you can't just say, well, he said a couple of terrible things. He can't have a job. He can't have movies produced. And he can't put movies out there.
If I can watch ISIS videos and see videos of Islamic terrorists beheading fucking, news reporters that they capture over there. I'll let somebody who had a spousal abuse problem make a movie.
It's people that have too much time on their hands.
I just got douche chills watching these guys talk about it. They're like, the terrible things that he said, and shut up. All right? Mm-hmm. If some of my ex-girlfriends had a recorder on, when I was, when we were having some of our arguments, I'd be in a heap of trouble. Okay,
right.
I could definitely understand where he's coming from. Okay, I wish. Listen, I wish I could pay Mel Gibson money to call some of my ex-girlfriends and leave them voice messages, because it's people say things, and when he said it in a private phone call to a woman who really is, she's from Russia. She's got that whole Russian personality where, they just kind of shut down. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They have like no emotion, and you're trying to talk to them and get through to them, and they're just like a cyborg. And she's sitting there in the thing going, yeah, that's fine. You don't have to give me any more money. I find someone else to give me more money. And he's like, you fucking bitch. I already gave you you just spent $5 million on my fucking money. Yeah, no shit. I'd be angry too. If I just spent a ton of money on someone, okay, trying to commit to a relationship, all right, and I let her spend, and then, when I'm trying to get through to her during an argument, she just shuts down like a cyborg, has no emotion. It's like, that's fine. I just find somebody else who with that stupid Russian accent going, that's fine. I just find somebody. I'd be like, you shut the fuck up, screaming and throwing stuff. I can definitely see where he's coming from.
I hope Mel hears this. He's like, I must meet this man.
But I'm just saying, like with all that to the side, like, if you have the money and you can produce a film, no matter what it is, that you can release it. That's all it is. But I'm just saying, like, even if they blocked it, let's say the studios are like, you know what, we don't want to be associated with him. He could still put it to DVD. Anybody can make anything and put it on the mass market.
Well, not in today's world with the thought police around. The thought police are here. If you think or say something that's offensive, you're not allowed. I mean, you've got to be silenced. They literally, you want to talk about getting douche chills. I watched something where these people stood outside something, and what they'll do, Matt, is they'll sit there. These fucking hippies will sit outside.
That's great how that worked. You could just say it once, and it gets both of us.
Yeah,
I like that douche chills.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
They point now. Like if you say something offensive, all right. Like if I were to go on TV and say, I think women's place is in the kitchen. They shouldn't leave the kitchen. They should be barefoot, and they should only leave the kitchen after cooking me dinner to have sex with me. They will stand outside my house and go, shame, shame, and they will point and yell, shame. All right. I just want, it's the stupidest and most annoying fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
They say shame. Look.
That's when you just call the cops.
Well, then they'll call the cops, they call the cops, they hurl things at the cops now and call them, racist and everything else. I don't even want to get into all that. But,
I got you.
Yeah. It's the poor guy, alright? He's paid, he has a fucking, the two things he's been in since 2008 when these recordings were released have been some straight to Netflix movie and The Expendables 3. The guy's, as far as his career
he was in Machete too.
Oh, that's true.
He was in Machete.
Yeah, he was in Machete.
What was it? President, that was Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
He played the bad guy.
Yeah,
President Ramcock was Charlie Sheen, right?
Jesus Christ. I want to ban someone from Hollywood. Ban Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah. You got any other news topics, friend?
That was what I brought.
You don't want to talk about Spider-Man?
I do want to talk about Spider-Man.
Go right ahead.
Now, I think, what was it? Tom Holland was the guy that got to play Spider-Man?
Yes.
Which I'm not...
He got the
I
part.
wasn't sure of his name, actually.
What he looks like fails me right now. What else was he in? I can't put a face to the name.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I can't.
But I will say,
there is one person.
He had a couple of videos that
I did not make these, so I'll just let you know.
He posted.
They're not the greatest
online. That he did some acrobatic stuff that he already knows that kind of stuff. Like he doesn't need to be trained in it,
which is good.
And it looked, you know what I mean. He shot it in his backyard, but I thought.
Looks good.
Yeah, as far as, if they do those type of stunts, he's got it,
Right. and this is going back to, like, because there's a lot of people that are poking fun at this and being like, oh, rebooting it again. And then Marvel shifted all their release dates for their movies for certain ones, like Black Panther and the next Thor and all that.
But does anybody, not being ignorant, does anybody care if Black Panther gets pushed back?
I don't.
Who cares? I mean, I hate to say it like that.
I don't, because what they were originally going to do was Black Panther was going to play Spider-Man's part in the Civil War thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
So it's just like, you're going to introduce a character for the first time, pull his mask off, and be like, this is who the Black Panther is. And it'd be like, who gives a shit? That has no dramatic pull to it whatsoever.
And I'm sure comic book people would lynch me, but, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Black Panther's like C-list as well.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
There are Black Panther fans, but to me, yes. He's not like... He was in the Avengers, you know, a couple of times, and that's only because, he wasn't in Wakanda. You know, like...
I get that, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people that read comics. I don't know anybody that's like, oh, I can't wait till the next, you know, new run of Black Panther comics comes out.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure there's a couple, but...
I can't say I've heard that, and I've been working in a comic book store for a couple weeks. So...
but, I mean, it goes back to that thing. So...
Where's your new Black Panther?
We're pushing back a release date on a film that's like, okay.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And that's what they're saying, like, oh, the next Thor got pushed back. I'm like, and honestly, who gives a shit about the next Thor movie?
I actually kind of do.
No, I'm not. The Black World was fine. Mm-hmm. Like, it was better, I think, than the first Thor movie, but in the grand scheme of things, Thor movies are all they're written, and, like, the plots and everything, they're safe. Mm-hmm. You know, like, the first Thor movie, it's just like, they pulled that idea straight from Disney's ass. Some guy with a lot of power falls from grace, and then he has to realize that he's human on the inside and to get his powers back, and then he fights for the better, you know, the greater good.
I want to see him do the Fear Itself storyline from Thor.
Well, yeah, of course. Everybody would. That's like one of the best Thor storylines.
Yeah. Thor's grown on me. I actually liked the second Thor. I don't want to say I didn't like... The first Thor was one of my least favorite Marvel movies.
Right.
I really liked the second one with the Dark Elves.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was okay.
I watched it the other night.
It did like a Mission Impossible twist in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, well... I mean, it is what it is. But no, I think the third one's going to be pretty cool. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just don't really care that some of these other movies got pushed back. Whoopie ding.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that.
And in all honesty, like, if they make another Spider-Man movie and they really kind of just ignore everything that the Amazings did.
Yeah.
But it's just like... Not being rude, you
kind of need to still acknowledge those ones.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you know this right now, like... They're not going to reboot it. If he's going to be introduced into the Civil War storyline, that means he's already been doing what he's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, who knows when Civil War's going to take place? I have a feeling it's not going to be like, okay, immediately after the events of Avengers 2. You know?
Right.
Who knows? It could be a year or two after that. And maybe since then, that's when Spider-Man, you know, came to be or whatever.
Right.
So, it's not a reboot per se.
Yeah.
You know
but that's what everybody likes to call it. Yeah.
And I think what's going to happen, I think what we're going to see, especially with the Marvel Universe, a personal theory, because, you see things and ideas out there. Like, why can't the Marvel Universe be like James Bond films? They swap James Bond out all the time.
Yeah, well, it's like, how many times did Batman get another actor?
Yeah, but they rebooted it each time they did that.
That's true, yeah.
Except for with Forever and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, they could install, like, if Robert Downey Jr. leaves, which would be a blow to him because he's awesome, but if they pull him out of that thing, but they find the right actor to fill those shoes, they don't have to reboot Iron Man. Just keep rolling like nothing ever happened. I mean, they did it.
You don't have to draw attention to it.
Yeah, they did it with Rhodes. You know what I mean? It went from whatever to Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
Like, no one cared. I didn't care.
That's because Terrence Howard. Who gives a shit about Terrence Howard?
No, but I'm just saying.
Nobody.
But that's what he's trying to say. Like, it's still a character that fits the part, so why you don't have to bring any attention to it.
Yeah.
Just keep rolling with it.
Yeah, roll with the punches. You know what I mean? They did the same thing with Batman's girlfriend in Nolan's Batman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so what? I mean, it didn't make an effect. I wasn't like, oh, now my belief's completely suspended because it's a new actress.
I mean, Maggie Gyllenhaal was like 25, but she's got a face of a 50-year-old, and Katie Holmes is so nuts she's playing beat cheeks with Tom Cruise. So
not anymore.
Oh yeah, I guess they did break up, didn't they?
Yeah, they're divorced or whatever.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, I 100% agree with what you said. Just make the movies. You don't have to look at it as a reboot. And just
I mean, they're doing that with this Batman versus Superman. I mean, the Batman's an older version of Batman, a weathered version of Batman.
They're going from the Dark Knight Strikes Again storyline.
Yeah,
somewhat.
so it's like, you know what I mean. So it's, I think there's going to come a point where we're not going to see the quote unquote reboot. It's just going to be like, people know who Spider-Man is.
I'm sorry.
People know who Batman is.
Am I the only one who still is not okay with Ben Affleck being Batman?
I think you might be.
I am.
You could ask your listeners to take a poll and see who else agrees with you, but
I was at first, but now, like,
I've kind of gotten
the more
over it.
clips I'm seeing, and like, I think one of the best clips I've seen, like, just from like an acting chops standpoint, it doesn't have to be how he plays it. Like when he's standing, when he's standing in like Gotham City, and he sees like Superman like destroying that building in Gotham, and he's like,
he saves that girl, and he's all pissed off.
That rage is kind of like built up, and like just that scene. I don't know, like I just get this feeling like I'm with it. I'm with it.
Oh God!
I agree with you. Like
I'm with it. We'll see what happens. I could be completely let down, you know. But I'm going to go in with it.
So Fred's prediction for the Spider-Man v Superman rating is going to be a 2 out of 10. It's going to be up there with Vacation.
I look at it this way. We've had this conversation before. George Clooney, terrible Batman, awesome Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? He has that swag about him.
George Clooney is another one.
But I'm saying, like for a playboy, like rich guy,
awesome.
Like Bruce Wayne, awesome. Batman, maybe not so much.
Smug, smacked ass.
I kind of felt that way about
Val Kilmer.
No, from the Nolan ones.
Poor Val Kilmer.
Oh, Christian Bale.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way about him. I was like, he's not really that great of a Batman. Like,
see, I liked him as
he
Batman.
played the millionaire well. I guess it's just that goddamn voice.
Yeah, but you know what?
Anytime he used that voice,
But you know what? Watching the clips from this, it sounds like Batman's going to have like some kind of voice.
I leaned over
changer.
to him when we saw the trailer. I leaned over to him. I'm like, why the fuck does Batman sound like Megatron?
Yeah.
But I've come to accept it because I watch TV shows like Arrow, and he has a special little device that masks his voice because he can't really mask his face all that well.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So, okay, I could suspend disbelief. It's okay. Here's a guy in a mask, so he's going to have some type of device that makes his voice sound funny. And it's a lot better that his voice sounds funny and he's not just making a voice, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I can't stand George Clooney. I can't fucking stand Ben Affleck.
How about Noah Wiley? How do you feel about Noah
He's
Wiley?
alright.
He's alright.
I like Matt Damon is a fucking chode. All these fucking...
I liked him in Elysium, though. Did you like him in that?
No, I didn't like him with fucking
he does not
Foster.
he doesn't like Blomkamp movies.
Yeah,
really?
Blumpkin or whatever his name is.
Yeah, he doesn't like
fucking
Blomkamp.
Jodie Foster with her Southern plantation owner voice, with all the rich white people up in the sky, and all like the dirty brown people are trying to get up and dethrone the rich white people. Yeah, I get what metaphor you're going for there, Blumpkin. All right, fucking have Matt Damon up there with fucking Jodie Foster with her. We got a strong plantation. We got a strong cotton crop this year with her Southern plantation voice.
Jesus Christ!
Fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous movie.
And I liked it.
I did too.
That was pretty good.
Oh, fuck.
I liked it.
I'm fucking Matt Damon. Nothing could be more right on the nose than that Team America.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. On the thing. That is absolutely 100% right. They did such an excellent job of getting each of those actors, like Sean Penn. They have Sean Penn on there. He's like, I've been to Iraq. It's a land of candy corn rivers.
So reeling it back into Spider-Man, what about the other casting news? Like, was it Jason Biggs is supposed to be in it?
Oh, fuck.
What the hell is he doing?
I read that.
It gets better.
It gets better. I read Billy Zane, Jason Biggs,
Fuck me.
Dr. House, as Jameson.
Hugh Laurie's all right. I don't mind him.
I just get a picture of him.
I know it's not a Marvel character, but I hope Billy Zane comes in as the Phantom.
No, I think
God.
him and Biggs are supposedly the villain. So it's supposed to be Vulture and Scorpion.
Fucking the guy from American Pie who sticks his wiener in a fucking apple pie is playing a villain in the...
Yeah, Jason Biggs. It would have been better if it was Schwartzman. I like Jason Schwartzman.
This is really starting to scare me now.
But remember, the same guys who wrote the movie...
And Marissa Tomei is supposed to play
now what
Aunt
fucking
May.
sense does that make? She's a hot piece of ass. How the hell is she going to be playing Aunt May?
You know what they do is if they do
I'm just telling you, Aunt May is...
Oh my God, what I wouldn't do to her, I'd wheelbarrow the shit out of her.
If they do a redo of the origin story again, I want Sean Bean to be Uncle Ben.
Oh,
His American accent is terrible, though.
I don't care. I just want him to die in another movie.
just remember, the guys who wrote Vacation, which is the movie we
just reviewed,
gave
a 2 out of 10.
Are writing the new Spider-Man movie. Just putting that out there. So is that it for our news here today?
I think so. You want to tell everybody where they can find all the other episodes?
Okay. Well, they can find us on Grindcast Facebook page.
Libsyn.com?
Yep, grindcast.libsyn.com, Grindcast Facebook page, Miserable Movie Mafia Facebook page. They can find us on iTunes, on Blueberry. Mm-hmm. There's been a couple more added as well that...
The Podcast Source?
The Podcast Source.
That's the app we're on.
Was Matt throwing the movie in the trash that we just seen?
The Podcast Source. You could also catch Matt's reviews of things on grindedword.com, which is an excellent site. You can also catch my written reviews of things and the YouTube version, which also you can find us on YouTube.
The Grinded Word YouTube channel.
Yep, you can find us on the Grinded Word YouTube channel. I also post the podcast up on miserablemoviemafia.wordpress.com.
Holy shit.
So
we are everywhere and nobody knows us.
We're everywhere, and yet you still will not do the contest. Well, guess what? We just had our last winner of the contest, and you people won't be getting another one because you fucking don't like free things. Well, great. Well, that's great.
I'm not doing it because I hate people. I'm just doing it like it was like.
Budget can be used elsewhere.
Yeah, I could use the extra money that I was doing for the contest for things to further the quality of the show.
People don't want to participate in the contest. Well, this is Fred Brennan saying...
Well, maybe if you had some... Maybe if your dick popped out.
Yeah. Yeah, here's one. Either you follow this... We're going to do a
might
contest...
have to check that with my wife first. Yeah. You mind if I hang dong for the contest?
How the millennials will love it.
Yeah. How about this for the contest, okay?
That's the best contest I've ever seen.
Hilarious. He's got shit on his penis.
You either get people to like Grinded Word and Miserable Movie Mafia, or Fred's going to come to your front and take a shit on your front porch while you're sleeping and leave it there for you in the morning.
He's going to stand out in your sidewalk and yell shame at your house. Shame!
Well, fucking
shitting on his dick.
Which, is the new form of comedy. Fall into a pile of shit with your dick out. So
yeah.
But that's our episode.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed it.
I hope you still listen.
And no more contests because you people are ungrateful and lazy.
My views do not mirror yours. I'm not doing it because you think they're ungrateful. God damn it. No, I want to say my piece right now. I don't want people to hate me. I'm not stopping the contest because I think they're ungrateful. I'm very thankful for the people that listen to our shows and the people that like us and comment and everything.
Sign up for the podcast or Mel Gibson will kill you.
Yeah, how about that?
All right. All right. I still love you guys.
Yeah.
Fred, that's don't hate me.
I will stand outside your house and yell shame at you. That's a good one.
All right. Until next time, if I'm not dead. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.